There it goes. All right. Hey, everybody. 11:30 on the, what is this, the 6th, almost the 7th. Uh, as you've seen through the posts, the changeovers happen much more quickly than we thought. They were talking about a changeover, at, 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, it was 9 o'clock at night, and we were getting sleet, and in some places snow. Mostly, and this is strange. A lot of it was to the south. They were talking about snow in Baltimore when it's right now in Cherry Hill. It's still raining. It's like I said, about 11:30. So cold air is crashing in, and it's crashing in at all levels. So this will not be a freezing rain type of thing. It's going to be all snow at some point. It's going to change over. If it hasn't already, a lot of places. Havertown, I'm getting reports from you guys, snow in Havertown media. Like I said, Baltimore, where else? Lancaster, I think, Reading, all different places. So if it's not snowing now where you are, it will be soon. Now, will it start sticking? Yeah, I think so, because it's snowing at night, which is good. You don't have to worry about sun angle. Number two, as the snow starts to come down harder, it's going to bring down cold air from aloft, and that's going to help cool down what they call the column, and then it's going to also cool down the surface. Couldn't think of the word. Right now, it's about 35 degrees in Philadelphia. That wasn't supposed to be. It's dropping pretty quickly. We have a situation. It's called CAD, cold air damming. It's a kind of complicated thing, and to be honest with you, I don't understand all of the workings of it. But what it does is cold air kind of gets squeezed by the mountains to our west, and it causes low-level cold air to stay in place. So that is going to be helpful if you're looking for snow. Like I said, I don't think there's going to be any freezing rain involved. I think there could be a mix of sleet, but that's about it. Now, the short-range, high-resolution models are showing substantially more than I'm predicting. I'm still going with 6 to 8 because I don't know if I'm 100% lockstep with them. They're good. There's a lot of consensus now for higher amounts of snow. But here's the thing. The snow rates, usually it's 1 inch of liquid, 10 inches of snow. Well, it's probably not going to be quite that. It's probably going to be a little lower, maybe 1 to 7, 1 to 8 maybe. So if those models are pushing out, let's say, a foot, probably knock that down to about 9 or 10 inches. All right, so it's still substantial. There is a chance that some of us, and I'm thinking now it might be the Philadelphia area, will see thunder snow tomorrow. Somebody will see thunder snow as this coastal develops. Predicting where thunder snow is going to be is virtually impossible. You could give a range. You could say, well, it could be Delaware County, Montgomery County, Bucks County, Philadelphia County, or into New Jersey, where I am in Camden County, Burlington County, right to my west and north. But you couldn't possibly know where that's going to set up exactly. Now, where that sets up, well, that could bring in a lot more snow in some places. Now, if you get thunder snow in, let's say, Philadelphia, well, Philadelphia could wind up with 15 inches of snow if it sticks, which I think it will now. Whereas places around there may only get 8 or 9 or 10. So where those thunderstorms are, and in those thunderstorms, you can wind up with 3 or even 4 inches per hour. It's not unheard of. In fact, I think that's what we got in the Eagles blizzard. I want to say in 2013, but I don't remember exactly. That was a similar situation where we had a ton of snow, about 4 inches an hour for about an hour. Got 4 inches in an hour, and then probably the next couple hours are 1 to 2 inches an hour, which again is a ton of snow. The highest snow rate I've ever heard of around here was in Allentown in 1983. They reported 5 inches of snow in an hour. That's absolute, complete, 100% whiteout conditions. You could not see your hand in front of your face in something like that. That's just insane. Winds are going to be an issue again. They're not going to be as bad as they were Friday. Friday was horrific. You had winds. I think Cape May reported not 90, 71 mile an hour wind. And in Massachusetts, I think someplace recorded a 92, something like that. So they had over 90 up there. Philadelphia is probably in the 50s and 60s. Gusts probably 65, 60. This time, the winds will be gusting at 40, 45, down shore 50. I'm going to use the B word, blizzard. Some places will see blizzard conditions. Now, it will not be a full-fledged blizzard because the temperatures are not going to be cold enough to be a blizzard, I think. And I'm trying to go off the top of my head here. I think the temperature has to be 25 or below, unless they got rid of that stipulation. I don't remember exactly what they change it so often, but blizzard conditions at least will occur somewhere. It could be Philadelphia. It could be just to the west of Philadelphia in Delaware County, Montgomery County, or Chester County. There's a chance it could even be in Jersey. I'm hoping for it here. I'd like to see it. It's a really neat thing. I've seen it, I think about, I want to say twice, thunder, snow, and it's incredible. It's just, when you get thunder snow, think about a thunderstorm in the summertime when the wind is, when the precipitation, the rain is coming down so heavily, and it's just insane. I mean, the streets start to flood. Well, when you do that with snow, it doesn't have time to melt. It just starts piling up on top of each other. So on highways, especially, I one time was coming home from college, and the Blue Route was literally covered. I mean, and it wasn't just covered. There was a pile up of snow. There must have been about 3 or 4 inches of snow. There were tracks in the snow. So that's a lot. And just last year, I was up in Toronto. I drove home from Toronto through New York, and it turned out it was a lake effect storm. It turned out that they got 56 inches of snow, and I drove right through that before it was 56 inches, but it was a whiteout, and the highways were completely covered. And again, it was piled up, not just covered, not just slick. I mean, you were driving through mounds of snow. It was incredible. That could happen tomorrow. Depends on where that heavy snow sets up, where the heavy bursts of snow. But I think everyone's going to see heavy snow. Because it's starting earlier and the temperatures are dropping, I think we're going to have a substantial amount of snow. Again, I'm still going to go with 6 to 8. Tomorrow morning, I'll look again and see if I have to bump that up. But at this point, I can't. I don't want to just jump and say, hey, let's have a knee-jerk reaction to the models. But yeah, the high-resolution models, which are fairly good, and there's a lot of consensus, are saying that we could get a substantial amount of snow, possibly a foot. Again, still going with 6 to 8, but a foot is not out of the question, and in some places more. I would not be surprised to see somebody hit 20. Again, most likely north and west. They have a higher elevation. It's colder there. Poconos have a shot at it. And in the mountains, a lot of times the atmosphere kind of wrings itself out. So with the at upper levels, a lot of times you can kind of really get a little extra out of the precipitation. Down the shore, it's iffy. I think you're going to see a lot of sleet at some point. You're certainly not going to be all snow. But in the Philly area, again, 6 to 8, but I might have to bump that up. Now, interesting enough, the NAM model that ran tonight, the 18Z, it had, I think somebody said, and I read this somewhere, I don't remember where, I think it was on the Weather Enthusiasts website, which is on Facebook, a fantastic place, really a lot of great meteorological minds there. Not all pros, some of them are amateurs, some of them are kids that are going through school. They're great, they're really great. So if you get a chance to see that page, I would advise it. but in any event, I think that's where I saw this, that the NAM had 3 reconnaissance flights that went through it. So there was a ton of extra information in there, and that NAM run bumped up the snow totals dramatically, and the rates for tomorrow. So that's something to keep in mind too. You guys have been fantastic. I really, really appreciate all of you. I appreciate your observations. I appreciate your support, and I'm really happy to have you. And just keep on with me, and I'll do the best I can. And I think that. Oh, before I forget, one more thing: the power outages are going to be a problem. When you have heavy wet snow, it clings to the wires, it clings to the trees. A lot of these trees are already weakened. You have a saturated ground. You have trees that have been swaying back and forth, over the last couple days. And now you're going to put heavy snow on top of it, and 30 to 40 to 50, even 55-mile-an-hour winds. That's going to be a problem. So just keep that in mind. But again, I really appreciate this. This is a hobby for me. I don't get a chance to I never had a chance to really enjoy it like this. So I really appreciate it. And keep the observations coming. Like I said, I'm going to try to answer as much as I can. I get a lot going on. I'm working on my charity right now, and I have work for my business, my training business that I run, and I work out every day. So a lot going on, kids and all that good stuff. So I'll try to be as available as I can. And again, thanks so much. I'll talk to you guys real soon.